work. Maybe they've had a negative experience or something like that. Now let's talk about online training. You do all the same work, right? You go through that stages of change model. If anybody doesn't know it, I'm happy to send you some information on it, Prochaska's model of change. And you're at the point where you want to hire a trainer and you know yourself and you know what you want to achieve intuitively. Whether you can actually communicate that or not is another thing. You know, the most important aspect of marketing is being able to, I guess, say internally or be able to mimic or know what somebody is thinking but not saying, right? Their internal dialogue. And they're able to basically find out the right kind of trainer for them by searching on the internet without anybody knowing, from the safety of their own home, for whatever reason, believing that this person that they find is the right person for them. Immediately, their self-efficacy is higher because they believe that they're going to be able to achieve with that workout. And so that's why, out of the couple thousand now online trainers that I've kind of indirectly or directly worked with and trained, we've actually seen better adherence to programming than we do in person. That's why I think, that's my theory. But we have seen better adherence. Online training is relatively new. I know that it might seem for people in sort of certain bubbles that it's everywhere, that you have so much competition, that there's InstaFit trainers everywhere offering online training. It represents a huge opportunity. It is a booming industry right now. A lot of clients are looking for it. It's become much more reasonable to hire a coach online in the last couple of years. And what you have to do is kind of get yourself out of your own head and your own communities for a little bit. I won't get into filter bubbles and all of this stuff. If you read my book, Vironomics, then you know that I'm pretty obsessed with social contagion theory and algorithms and stuff. But basically, what we see in our world is a reverse search. So any product or service that you use that you don't directly pay for, you're the product. You're not the customer. So you're being basically packaged and sold. So you talk about Facebook, talk about Google, all of these things. It's reverse engineered search. You see things that you don't actually know that you're searching for yet, that it shows you because it knows you so well. Everything that you do, every click action, everybody you interact with, right? Everything that you look at is basically being collected, is being then sold to a massive data company that you don't know exists, and is then being packaged and sold back to a company like Facebook to help search your feed. And the reason why Facebook does this is because it makes their advertising platform much more powerful. Because you buy things when you see things that you like and things that agree with you. You don't buy things when they disagree with you. This is one of the main reasons why the current election climate is so bad right now in the United States. Sorry about that, guys. But the reality of it is, it's so bad because cognitive dissonance is at such a high. And it's at such a high because you only see things that are constant to you. And if you look at all of the research behind cognitive dissonance, one of the main pieces of it is social support. So even if you are wrong, even if you're proven wrong without a shadow of a doubt, if you're in a community where everybody agrees with you, it really doesn't matter what the correct information is. And again, I'm happy to show you some of the sort of seminal studies on that. It's pretty interesting stuff. All the seminal studies on cognitive dissonance were on cults and stuff, and it's pretty fascinating. So even though it seems like online training is new, the reality of it is most people in the world haven't heard of it. The only reason why it's everywhere in your world is because of the worlds that you guys run in. So one of the most important things for you guys when you're marketing online training is to sort of get out of your world, get out of your head, and to access communities. You know, if you're trying to write for a magazine, for example, don't write for Men's Health, don't write for Men's Fitness. Let's say that you were a musician in your previous life, or you become the health expert for a musician blog. Right now, you're the only health expert there. Whatever your interests are, whatever your backgrounds are. There's a lot of opportunities if you kind of look outside of your direct bubble. What did I do? Uh-oh. I'm going to jump up here. Oh, no, there we go. Oh, that's the pie one. Okay, here's pie. When you look at, I told you at the beginning of this that I was going to talk a little bit about kind of who online training was right for and who it wasn't, and here's how I look at this. If you were to take the entire world of people that would benefit from fitness information, from fitness advice, and you were to say, why are we still not doing a good enough job as an industry? Here's what I say to you. Is, in the words of my friend Dave Delanave, different shit is different. Different people react to different stimuli. Different people need certain different types of guidance. The fitness industry right now provides guidance in a couple of very distinct ways. It's not that we're not doing a good enough job. It's not that the information isn't there. It's not that we don't have enough people to be able to offer that information. It's that we're simply not offering it in enough different ways to meet people kind of how they want to respond to it. So here's the pie chart of everybody in the world. For anybody who knows me knows that I love pie. And basically, the part that's eaten is the part that we've done. The part that's not eaten is the part that can be accessed. So think about one-on-one training for somebody, right? One-on-one training for a client is an amazing experience for some, is petrifying for others. The same with group training, the same with Orange Theory, the same with Zumba, the same with CrossFit, the same with online training, the same with getting a workout from a magazine and following it, the same with following videos, the same with all these apps, the same with this quantified self movement. Right? It's great for some, it's not great for others. Online training is simply another slice of pie. It's great for some clients, it's not as good for other types of clients. So when you're doing it, don't think that it's right for everybody, for trainers at the same time. Right? You're a trainer because you love talking to people, you're a trainer because you love moving around. You've been sitting for 3 days, how do you guys feel? So, do you want to sit in front of a computer for half a day? Think about that. It takes a certain type of person to make a great online trainer, and which is why I think most trainers would really benefit from a meshed model or a hybrid model, which is what we're going to chat about in a little bit. First, though, why is online training better for the client? A couple things. More cost-effective. Scheduling becomes a non-factor. They can now believe they can work with the best or the perfect person for them. I've spoken about that. Why do these things matter? Because how you communicate the benefits of your service to the client as it appeals to them is more important than the benefits to you. So, what do you say to a client when they're asking about your services? Well, you can now work out on your own schedule and it's more cost effective, but I'll still be here guiding and supporting you every step of the way. That's kind of an overwhelming marketing note here. Always, whenever you have any product or service that you're offering, whatever kind of fitness advice training that you guys offer, the most important thing that you can do is take a step back from it and say, what are all of the possible benefits that this service offers to a client who is ideal for my services? Write that down in a list. Because when you speak to a client, first of all, your goal in a sales meeting, and unfortunately we don't have time to really dig into sales today, but your goal in a sales meeting is to bring out all objections. Your goal in a sales meeting is to figure out why it is that they're in that sales meeting with you. The only bad objection is the objection that is never brought out, right? Objections, according to somebody named Chet Holmes, objections are an opportunity to close, right? You want clients to object. And if clients don't object, you probably have done a bad job in that sales meeting. Because any objection you can deal with, or an objection identifies to you a client that you probably shouldn't train. Both are good. The only bad one is one that you don't hear about. And so if you know these things, if you know all the benefits of online training to a client, well, you can then reach back to all of your old clients that maybe you haven't trained for a long time because they moved away, because cost was an issue, because, all of those things that we initially dealt with. And you can basically reach out to them and you know exactly why they stopped training. You can say, hey, I offer this unbelievable new service that's more cost effective to you. Do you want to talk about it? Because you know that you can solve that problem that they had. For gym owners, a lot of gym owners now are still kind of operating in a scarcity mindset. I'm hoping to change that because offering an online training component as part of their kind of overview of services, it can solve a lot of their problems. Right? A major leak in income for gym owners is also clients who move away. Referral network increases, the same thing. I know Mark Fisher has a group. What do you call it? Your Broadway? Yeah. So Mark is weird and eccentric, as you guys already know, and he has a very unique kind of group of people that he works with, and there are actors and actresses and weirdos and basically people who don't fit in anywhere else that fit in with his amazing community, but don't live in New York City and can afford New York City prices, and so he created an online basically membership program that serves them. Right? Really, really smart. It's also a value add for trainers. I mean, the biggest problem that gym owners have, who here owns a gym or a studio? So am I correct in saying that basically your biggest problem is finding and keeping good trainers? Like one of your biggest problems? I mean, it's a serious issue. And it gets to a point where even if you have a great trainer, a great trainer is also probably an entrepreneur, so they're going to want to kind of do their own thing at one point. But also, what can you give that trainer that somebody else can't? And I've spoken to my friend Pete Dupuy about this a lot. For anybody who knows Cressy Sports Performance, him and I do a phone call every few weeks just to talk about stuff. And one of the one of the main things that they do great is he basically figured out, well, you can pay a trainer $2 more, $5 more, even $10 more an hour for a certain amount of time, and there will be certain people who will be motivated by that. But it gets to a point where A, you just can't pay them anymore, or B, their basic necessities are fine. Like, paying them more money won't keep them around. But what you can do is you can build a brand around your gym that allows your trainers to put their feet up from 12 to 2 p.m. over lunch, or not over lunch, sorry, 2 to 4, because lunch is usually busy, like 2 to 4, like kind of quiet part of the day, make a little bit more money while they're eating their lunch or something like that. And that's something that other gyms won't be able to offer their trainers. And so it's a great way to retain